Welcome to the Own It Powercast, the place to be when you get serious about making big changes and accelerating growth in your life and in your relationships. Finally create the life you've always wanted, living life on your own terms. Learn how to take your fear and turn it into powerful choices that will create sustained change. Now your host, Mary Baker.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own It Powercast, the place to come to get what you need to move yourself forward. Hey, it's Mary Baker and welcome to episode 331. If you needed to hear this today, what healthy support sounds like. Well, welcome back to this month as we finish out May, which has been all about healthy support. What it is, what it needs to be, why we need it, and when it looks like we're not getting it. Well, today I want to do something a little different because I know usually we unpack ideas, patterns, communication, boundaries, nervous systems, relationships, all that good stuff. But today I want to talk directly to you, especially if you're someone who learned early on to just carry a lot by yourself. Maybe you've recognized this month that you haven't had the healthy support around you, and you're starting to recognize the impacts. Maybe you had to become the strong one, the responsible one, maybe the easy one, maybe the one who learned not to need too much, the one who handled things quietly, the one people leaned on. Maybe they still do. Or maybe you're the one who learned to figure things out alone. And if that's you, today I want to offer you some of the mirroring, the validation, the empathy, and hopefully the encouragement that emotionally healthy relationships were supposed to give you. Not because hard things disappear, not because life becomes perfect, but because healthy support changes what hard things feel like for us to carry. So if you're just tired, you're feeling weary, like you can't just stop and allow life to unfold, to really, truly trust those around you to pick up the pieces and be strong enough in those moments where you need to lean. It's not your fault, and it makes perfect sense. You probably have people around you who just can't or couldn't. And maybe you spent years holding things together. And if asking for help has always felt a little uncomfortable, just know that it's for very good reasons. And I'm so sorry you had to learn a long time ago that maybe you couldn't be that vulnerable because it wasn't safe to do so. Or you found out the hard way that your needs just would not be met. Even 6-year-olds I've worked with over the years knew when adults could be or couldn't be what they needed. If vulnerability feels scary, it's because someone messed that up for you, and I am so sorry. That was not okay. We should never feel afraid to just be open and honest with what's going on inside. If boundaries still feel uncomfortable for you to articulate and set, well, that makes sense. You have learned that boundaries were deemed mean, maybe selfish, maybe uncaring. Maybe your family was loving, but people didn't know how to have boundaries. Maybe you got the vibe of who do you think you are? And maybe your healthy boundaries were deemed as a threat. And they never were. You know that now. Your no was just your truth that unfortunately unhealthy people couldn't honor. But just because they couldn't honor it doesn't mean that your truth wasn't real and valid. You were right to say no, or say not for me, or no thank you, or please stop shaming me, or ignoring me, or hurting me. That's what little kids are feeling, but probably didn't even know how to say it, or if they did, it wasn't met with good things. And if you still struggle to trust yourself after years of second-guessing yourself, well, that makes sense too. Especially when we're young and we're supposed to be able to trust the adults around us. Well, we might learn to not trust our truth, not trust our gut, because our thoughts and feelings and needs and boundaries and intuitions were invalidated. Maybe we were even gaslit into thinking, oh, the family's fine. And guys, they can do that by just not talking about what went down last night that was horrific. The message gets across just the same, either overtly or silently. Maybe you got the sense that that never really happened. Or it's all okay, you're just overreacting. So again, you had a terrible binary choice to make. Either you trusted yourself and your truth and what you experienced, or believed them to feel accepted and belong to the family. And know that you just adapted. Human beings adapt. We adapt to our emotional environments. We adapt to criticism. We sadly adapt to inconsistency. We adapt to the eggshells. We adapt to feeling unseen. And I'm so sorry you haven't felt seen, because you always deserved and needed to be seen and loved. And you still do. We adapt to carrying responsibility that never should have belonged to us. And over time, adaptations just start feeling like our personality, don't they? So we tell ourselves and others, well, I'm just really independent. Or I'm just private. Or I'm just bad at asking for help. But those aren't personality traits, they're survival skills. And yeah, they got you here and that's good, and I tell you that all the time, but guess what? They're probably keeping you from actually feeling safe and connected, ironically, to safe people and to yourself. I know some of you grew up getting the vibe or even hearing directly support that sounded like, oh, stop crying, it'll be okay, or you're overreacting, you'll be fine, don't make this a big deal. You're too sensitive. That wasn't that bad. Guys, healthy support is not that. It sounds very different. It sounds like, wow, that was really hard for you to experience. I can understand why that affected you. Of course, you're angry. Of course, you're disappointed. Of course, you can't sit still and sit in your own skin. You don't have to have it all figured out today. Healthy support sounds like, I'm really glad you told me. Or that makes sense because. Or what do you need right now? Or I might not fully understand what you just went through, but I really want to. You're allowed to feel that. You don't have to earn my love, appreciation, or support. You're not difficult for having needs. We all have them. You're allowed to take up space too. And you don't have to carry everything alone. And if hearing some of these feels really uncomfortable, well, guess what? That makes sense too. It may be really hard to hear something so heartfelt. First, you have to figure out, can you trust that it might even be true? Is it real? Second, that you can soften enough to absorb those truths and let them in. And to trust that they're real and that I'm being honest with you and that I don't have any other agenda than for you to hear truth reflected back to you. So I want to take a moment and do a little bit of a guided reflection. If you're not in a place where you can close your eyes, that's fine. Just try to find a way to focus, and if you can close your eyes, of course, find a comfortable position. And you don't have to do this perfectly, just try to settle in as you can. Just try to get grounded in your breath. Breathing in. And a big breath out. Drop your shoulders a little bit. Try to relax your jaw. Try to notice the sounds and the feelings around you. Notice that right now, in this moment, you're right here. You can just be. You can set down your burden to the right next to you, wherever you are. And for the next few moments, just be here. Now take another slow breath in and out. If you can, put your hand over your heart for a moment. And I want you to gently imagine yourself younger and just trust whatever image of you comes up. Not a perfect picture, just whatever comes. Maybe you see a younger version of yourself very clearly, or maybe you just feel them. That's okay. Just notice them. How do they seem right now? Can you tell what expression they might have on their face, or what energy do you notice from them? No judgment, just noticing. And now imagine sitting beside them in a quiet, comfortable spot. Not fixing, not rescuing, just being there. The way emotionally safe people are meant to be. Maybe they need a hug. Maybe they just need your kindness. Maybe they just need someone to simply stay and not run from them. Take a moment, and if it feels right, gently say to them, I see you. You make sense. You did the best you could with what you knew. You carried things that felt very big. Maybe even things that felt scary. You learned things because you had to. You had to adapt to survive. You're not bad for struggling. You're not difficult for having needs. You were never supposed to carry everything alone. You were supposed to be loved and protected and guided and listened to. Notice what comes up. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to create a certain feeling. Just stay. Maybe your younger self just needs to hear, you deserve support, and I'm so sorry you did not get it. And I'm here now to give it to you. You deserve safety. You deserved someone helping you carry those hard things. And what you did to survive made sense. If they let you, give them a hug and just hold them. If they cry and you cry, that's okay. It's because you can. Now say to them, we don't have to do everything alone anymore. We're learning. We're growing. And we can learn a different way. And we can take our time doing that. Smile at them. Tell them how proud you are of them. Tell them you'll always be here to listen. Now, when you're ready, slowly come back to the here and now, bringing with you whatever you need today. So if you were able to envision that, just trust whatever came. For some people, a lot of emotion comes up, and that's okay, and that's normal. For some people, they don't feel like they can access it, and maybe you're not ready yet. It'll come in time, I promise. You can repeat that exercise as many times as you can. It's really important. You can say different things to them. The whole point is to reparent. Give them what was never given to you. That's part of our healing and part of our growth. So some of you listening still don't have healthy support around you, and that's not your fault because one of your survival skills was to put people around you who felt familiar. Well, if people in the past couldn't support you, you may not have people around you today who can do it either. And I want to say something very clearly, that really matters. That's why we talked about it this month. The people around us affect us. Emotionally healthy support matters so much. Safe people matter. Being mirrored matters. Feeling understood matters. Not because we become dependent on people, because healthy connection actually helps our nervous system settle down. It helps us trust ourselves more. It helps us actually become more honest and grounded and growth-oriented, and guess what? Eventually strong enough to really, really show up for other people when they need us. So if you learn to handle things alone, you're not broken. If asking for support still feels uncomfortable, you're not failing. And if you still struggle to believe your needs matter, well, you're not behind. You just adapted. You survived the environments you had. And now you're learning something different. But slowly, one honest conversation, one boundary, one safe person, one moment of asking for help, and one small choice to stop carrying everything alone. And you'll do it as and when you're ready. It will unfold. But some of you maybe just needed permission. You knew it intellectually, but emotionally you just needed permission to start. So today we talked about listening to some empathy, validation, mirroring, encouragement that emotionally healthy relationships are meant to provide for us. And if you learned early in life to carry too much, stay quiet, handle things alone, be the strong one, well, that's what we got into and why all those patterns make sense in terms of what you had to walk through. And we talked about how emotional environments really shape us and how survival skills can quietly become our identity, or so we think. And then we just reflected what grounded encouragement looks like and what mirroring back of our truth is and why it's so important. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you were able to get something meaningful from this episode. Hopefully you take these words and say them to yourself often, and as you're able, offer them to others appropriately. We can never hear this stuff too much. And healing is possible. We just learn how to do things differently. If you need help, reach out. Check the show notes. There are links to plenty of support options, and I'm here for you as well. All right, so pay it forward. Keep focusing on you and what you need, and I'll see you next time.
We hope you took away some useful insights and tools you can begin using right away. If you did, Please leave a positive review and share on your social media. Because could you imagine if everyone in your life really got it together? Remember, own it now so you can really own it later.